let's look at the instructions on here. Okay, it says using either a large piece of bulletin board paper, which is what we'll use, or you can use a poster board, but I don't think poster board's going to give you enough space. Sketch the outline of a body, or you can either like use somebody in your group to sketch the outline of them, or I have like a blank body outline I can put on the board, and then you can take your poster up there and trace around it if you want to do that too. And people have done both, so. It says utilizing the medical roots word list, which is on the back of that paper. You'll look up the terms for your layman's or their common meaning. So, for example, adeno is gland. Gastro, stomach, cardio, we've already talked about, is what? Cardio is the root word for heart. Okay. So it says take the list, and you'll place both the medical term and the layman's terms at the appropriate place on your body outline. And it has to go along with a drawing of that particular organ or whatever that term is. Sometimes it's just a label. So it says many terms are found all over the body. For example, angio is vessel, and there's lots of vessels in your body, so you can put that anywhere that it would be appropriate. Spelling needs to be correct, and you have to put both terms on your poster, both the medical root word and the everyday term that we use. Draw and color in the organs on the body. Coloring and cutting out organs from a separate paper will add a 3D effect, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. Because sometimes, you know, your organs all kind of lay on top of each other too, if you're putting them on a piece of paper. So some words have the same meaning and will only need to be drawn once, but please write out all the medical terms. For example, lingua and glosso both are the root word for the word tongue. So you would, obviously you're only going to draw one tongue on your body because you only have one, but you can put both of those terms with tongue out to the side. Okay, so here are, there's always been like some weirdo numbering thing here. I need to just remake this list someday, but I keep forgetting until I start talking about it. Anyways, yeah, there's a word missing somewhere. Anyway, I don't know which one it is. Maybe there's not. Maybe I got them all fixed now. But anyway, there's 78 terms that you'll label onto the body. And if you look at the rubric, every term and picture, you have to have both the term and the picture to get credit for, or a label, or whatever works for it. To get 1 point each on those. And then neatness and organization, 10 points. The fact that I can read it and find what you've done. And then that it's colored and not just done in black marker, that's 12 points. So let me show you some examples.
It's going to be hard.
But y'all, yours is due October 29th. You can write that on the front of it.
It's a whole month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it might not be so much.
And we'll have lots of time in class to work. Okay. So October 29th is the due date. So here is 1, 2. We have 2. Yeah. Okay, so here's one example. This person's really tall. But anyways, you can see where they've drawn everything, and they put like your eye has more than one term on here. So they put both the term and the word eye. And this is what you do. Now you are welcome to, like on this one, they did extra drawings to like add to, you know, if there was something they couldn't put on the front of the body, maybe it went on the back of the body or something like that, you can add extra drawings, okay? Also this one, this is a female because it has a uterus and ovaries, and then they put the male parts at the bottom. So you can do that. You could add smaller pictures all around it if you needed to, kind of like they did with the sign. Okay. But yeah. another example. Now, they kind of got crazy at the end. I do not want printed organs from the computer taped on here. I want you to draw them. And now, it doesn't have to be a perfect drawing. Okay? I mean, it needs to resemble. It at least needs to resemble the organ that you're supposed to do. But this is another. Okay. So again, they did extra little parts.
Oh, we're gonna fail.
What?
I can't draw.
You got plenty of pictures for
I'm gonna draw
These
something.
are just shapes. It's not like you're drawing a perfect
You can all
shadow.
draw somebody's lung.
And here's another example. Let's see. Okay, and then here's the one with the 3D effect. Now this one, I've rolled it up forever and ever, so it's kind of messed up. But I had it for a while. Okay, so on this one, what they did was they drew the organs and everything on a separate piece of paper.
I need the following students that own the following vehicles to come to the office. If you own a green Kia, a gray Jeep, tan Ford SUV, and a white Ford Mustang, please report to the office at this time. Thank you.
Anyway, so they took a separate piece of paper, drew it, and then taped it on. That way you could lift it up and see the other things behind. See the other things behind it. So you can see there's a heart in the background and the lungs. So that's another option. Way to do things. So you get the picture. That's a good My suggestion, here's how I would start this project. And starting this one is probably that's half the battle, which is getting it started. Okay, first I would look up all the terms. You might separate them in your group and look up all of the terms. Okay, and you guys can use a lot of these are in our blue textbook, our blue healthcare health science books, so you can find a lot of them there. There's a whole section on medical terminology. And a lot of them you'll be able to find there. You can use the computer if you need to look up the root words and look up the name. Anyways, that would be my first suggestion, to write out what everything means and to pair up the ones that mean the same thing. Now, I will tell you this, artery and veins are not the same thing, okay? Arteries lead blood away from the heart, and veins go back towards the heart. And they actually have a different structure too. So just know you can't put all artery and vein together. And there's some words that just mean vessel, and that could potentially be either an artery or a vein. So anyways, just know that that's to keep all of that in mind. I think I've got them pretty well fixed on here that you guys won't get, that there aren't too many that you won't be able to find. Kind of had to take away and add some over the last few years. A couple things you'll notice, these, especially the ones that I added, have a little slash and an O behind them. And the reason they have that is that's called the combining form. We're going to learn about that in the next couple of weeks. But when you use a medical root word, all of these are root words. Okay. You, depending on what suffix you put on the end of it, sometimes you add an O to make it easier to say. And so when I say these terms, and when you guys say these terms, it really is easier if you just put an O on the end of it. Like cardio is, I don't know why it's easier to say than cardio. Or gastro is easier to say than gastro. Anyways, so when I say those words, that's why I'm saying it with the O behind them. And you'll understand why in a couple weeks. But anyway. So that's that. You can put an O behind it on your paper if you want to. You don't have to. You can just put this. Doesn't matter to me. But these are all your root words that have to be placed on the bottom. Okay. So anyway, so I would start by defining these. Maybe you split them up between the members of your group, and then everybody takes a section. That would be fine. Figure that out first. Second thing I would do is get my paper and draw your body. Okay, so however you guys want to do that, if you want to use the blank body I have and put it up here, that would be fine with me. Or you can trace someone. Either way is good. So that would be what I do second. Third thing I would do is I would separate the words into things that have a specific place on the body and things that are in multiple areas of the body. Okay, so for example, your heart, you only have one heart and it's in one spot in your body. So that has to go in the place where the heart goes. And it's usually kind of wrapped around the lungs. So you want to put the heart kind of behind the lungs, if you will. Okay, but veins, you've got veins all over your body. So that would go in the group that could go anywhere. And you might save those for last so that you don't get everything jumbled up in one spot. Does that make sense? So I would do stationary organs first, brain, heart. Muscle could go in there. You've got muscle all over your body, so you can pick a place that's empty and add your muscle in at the end. Okay, so that's my suggestion and good practices after having students. The first year we did this, I didn't really know what to expect it to look like, and all that. So that's what I have seen that has been the most successful. Okay, it really is a fun project. It's lots of work. Okay, but it's a fun project, and you learn your terminology as you go. You learn where the organs are and what they look like. So it's a good one to do. Another option, told you these had a lot of small pictures around the outside. Another option I've had people do before is to trace the back of the body on the back of the paper and use that for like spine or dorsal, things that have to do that can only be seen on the back. Or if they ran out of room on the front, like muscle and so forth, that can go on the back too. And so that's another option. You can do that however you want to. You can come up with whatever you want. That's another option. Hey, your organs should resemble, heart shouldn't look like a kidney. Okay, the heart should at least resemble a heart, but I don't expect everybody's drawing to be perfect. Okay, but it should be recognizable. It's not that hard. It looks like it's kind of like a triangle. It's got lines in it.
I'm just going to draw a picture.
Anyway, so that's that. Okay? You can